notice people who are conscientious about their possessions also tend to be conscientious about the people they allow into their life. Right? One ill-advised person entering your life can just turn it upside down and do untold amount of havoc and damage, not just to you, but to everyone you care about. The virtuous cycle is when you don't allow people to take more of your time than you have to spare. Right? When you develop the capability of stopping when other people are taking up your time that you need to spend elsewhere. It shows self-respect, it develops self-respect. And then you feel higher morale, you have more of a sense of self-efficacy, your ability to get things done, to follow your values and your goals. And that then builds throughout your life, and then people have more respect for you, and treat you more carefully, and they notice how you treat yourself. Halperin is getting access both to publicly available early voting data and also to proprietary private polling results. And so his wide number of sources is what enables him to break so many stories. Just as when I was writing on the pornography industry for a decade, it was my wide number of sources that enabled me to break so many stories. One story that I broke about the mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, not wearing his wedding ring for the past 9 months. That was equally available to other reporters covering the mayor of Los Angeles, but they found the story too distasteful. It was the first Latino mayor of Los Angeles in about 100 years. And they didn't want to report on something so tabloid, so salacious. It was an ugly part of life that their careful critical discourse predisposed them to avoid. And it was only when I published it on my blog and I get him to address it, he denied it, he lied. And then more and more evidence came in. Eventually he admitted that he was lying and he'd been carrying on an affair with a TV newsreader on Telemundo. And Antonio Villaraigosa's political career never recovered from my blog post. And I got that blog post from talking to Tony Castro, who was interviewing me for a daily news story. He just relayed that anecdote about no sign of the mayor wearing his wedding ring for the previous 9 months. And then I bounced off a bunch of political reporters privately in email, and within 40 minutes of getting that information, in the course of being interviewed by Tony, I had the story up, phrased awkwardly on my blog, saying that Mayor Villaraigosa's marriage was kaput. So when you don't employ that careful critical discourse, when you just speak in a visceral way, it's not always going to be that smooth and that impressive. But much of life is not smooth, much of life is ugly. And a more inhibited approach to how you speak will blind you to honestly confronting the ugly side of life. And speaking of the ugly side of life, I pay very little attention to this Diddy. Is it P. Diddy, the rapper, is facing all sorts of accusations. And I paid little attention to the story, but I just started reading about it yesterday. And apparently his behavior was enabled by dozens of other people. And it just made me think about how much our understanding of reality is socially constructed. So when you live and work and depend for your income on a certain world, such as the world of this rapper P. Diddy, and the human trafficking and the rape that went on, it's very hard to convince someone of something if their source of their income depends upon not understanding that thing.